ISUPK 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK down in Florida. I'm Captain of 10,000 Shamoy Yalo. We here to let you know the 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, the palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022 is going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000.
And today we're going to teach you about the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? According to the Bible, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. Who is oppressing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Who was oppressing the natives? Andrew Jackson was. Who was oppressing our people? The devil that the Bible speaks of. Do you know that in the Bible, according to the Bible, who the devil is? Everybody think the devil is some red man with a pitchfork that lives under the ground. But according to the Bible, we are going to reveal to you today who the devil that the Bible speaks of is. You understand? Who the devil is. Take me to Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 4 verse 1.
Genesis is when it all began. All of your questions about the Bible, you bring your questions up here, man. We'll answer every question you've ever had in your life, man. We've been lied to as a people, black people, Native people, Hispanic people. The devil that the Bible speaks of, you understand? We're going to show you in the scriptures. Keep going.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 4 verse 1. And Adam knew his wife, knew Eve his wife.
Adam knew his wife. When it says knew in the Bible, depending on the context, what the scripture is going to describe, Adam knew his wife, meaning Adam had sex with his wife. Contrary to what you've been taught in church, sex makes babies. You cannot get two men and make a baby. You can't get two women and make a baby. You understand? You can't have a doll, you blow up doll. You can't make a baby. It takes the sperm and a man and a woman and her egg to make babies. You understand? You'll never learn that in church. While the pastor is touching and fondling all the little boys he can find, this is how the Bible is teaching. Keep going.
And she conceived.
And she conceived, meaning she got pregnant. Adam had sex with Eve and got her pregnant. Just like Joseph had sex with Mary and got her pregnant. You understand? Keep going.
And bare Cain.
And bare Cain, firstborn son. Keep going.
And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
Gotten a man from who?
The Lord.
From who?
The Lord.
Contrary to what the Christian church has been teaching our people, women do not give life. God assigns life. He said, I got a man from the Lord. God puts a baby inside of a woman. You just fill out the request order with the sex that you having, but God decides who gets pregnant or not. You don't decide to kill no baby because God puts a baby in a woman after a man has sex with her. Not magical, you understand? Keep going.
And she again bare his brother Abel.
She had another child named Abel. This is the story of Cain and Abel. Everybody has heard about this before, but you never heard the truth about Cain and Abel. You understand? Keep going.
And Abel was a keeper of sheep.
Abel kept sheep. He kept the flocks, the herd, the sheep, the goats. That's what Abel did according to the scriptures. all throughout the Bible, God's chosen people have been keeping sheep. We were sheep herders. That's what we did in Egypt. Come learn the Bible. Everybody swear they love Jesus. If this was Sunday morning and we was beating a tambourine and your favorite homosexual gospel singer was out here, you be waving your hands, jumping around, looking at the ceiling. While we open the Bible and show the truth, but there's no homosexuals up here like you used to in church, all of a sudden you don't love the Bible no more. Right. Imagine that. Keep going.
But Cain was a tiller of the ground.
Cain was a tiller of the ground. He was a groundskeeper. He tilled the ground. He worked with crops and things of the ground. Keep going.
And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. An offering.
Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Seems harmless. Seems like the Christian church teaches you that God will accept whatever you have. God will take you just as you are. That's what we've been taught in church. God will accept, just give it to God. No matter what it is, give it to God, give it to Jesus. Jesus will take it all. But that's not what it says in the Bible. Cain brought an offering, keep going.
And Abel,
hold on, what?
An offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
Abel brought an offering of God too. You know that offerings and sacrifices were in the Bible. That is the Old Testament. How did they know that they were supposed to bring offerings to God? Because it was written in the law. God gave Adam his laws, statutes, and commandments that were not written down on stone or tablets or paper until the days of Moses. God gave the instructions to Adam. That's how they know to bring an offering to God in Genesis, the 4th chapter. Remember, God is telling Moses what happened in the first 5 books when he's in the wilderness in Egypt for 40 years. This is the backstory. You understand? Keep going.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel.
The Lord loved everybody. He did what?
Had respect unto Abel.
God respected Abel's offering. Keep going.
But unto Cain.
But what?
Unto Cain.
But unto Cain.
And to his offering.
And to his offering. God has something that he requires. See, the Christian church has taught us that we can give God whatever we think is acceptable. That God will accept you as a man having sex with another man. That God will accept you eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster and aborting your babies and having your preacher, a child molester, rule over the congregation. That God will accept us as robbers, murderers, drug dealers, having sex with interracial marriages. We've been taught that God will accept this. But from the very beginning of the Bible, God does not accept whatever you feel like God should accept. God has rules, laws, statutes, and commandments. God has standards. And when you don't meet God's standards, God has punishments. Keep going. We're teaching about who the devil of the Bible is today. Who is the devil that the Bible speaks of? Everybody say they're Christians. Everybody hold the Bible. If this was Sunday, you all would have Bibles in your hand. All in Africa, all in Asia and India, worshiping the white man's dollar bill, thinking that this picture right here is Jesus Christ. Who is the devil? We're going to show you in the Bible. Keep going.
But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect.
God didn't respect Cain's offering. Why did God not respect Cain's offering? Because there is a people on the earth that figure that everybody should just take whatever they decide to give them. No matter how much they rape, how much they rob, how much they murder, how much they steal all the resources, how much they murder the Vietnamese and murder the Koreans and murder the Afghans and take over the Arabs' country and steal all the resources from Africa and murder the Native Americans and murder the Mexicans and murder the Mayans and the Inca and the Taino and the Arawak and drop atomic bombs from the sky. There's some people on the planet that never feels that they should have to pay for the crimes that they commit. Who is the devil that the Bible speaks of? We're going to show you in the scriptures. Keep going.
And Cain was very wroth.
And what?
Cain was very wroth.
Cain was angry. The Lord accepted Abel, but the Lord did not accept what Cain brought. And Cain got mad. Keep going.
And his countenance fell.
And his face was angry. He was sad. He was sad. There's a people on the planet that have been seeking to change everything that God set up from the very beginning. There's a people that will tell you that if they find bacteria, they found life on Mars, but if you got a black baby inside of your womb, you can kill that baby because it ain't alive. There's a people that is responsible for this. We're going to teach you who the devil that the Bible speaks of is today. Keep going.
Why art thou wroth? And why is thou countenance fallen?
This is black man talk. What's wrong with you, boy? Fix your face. What's wrong with you? That's what God said to Cain. Contrary to what you've been taught your whole life, the God of the Bible is a black man. God is not a white man. A naked white man floating on the cloud, getting other people's women pregnant by magic. That ain't the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible is a black man with an afro sitting on a chair made of fire with flaming spinning rims, with 4 of the most terrifying pit bulls you ever seen in your life in front of his throne room, and the hardest, most terrifying killer creatures you ever see in your life in the 4th dimension. The angels and the demons, who are evil angels, are all controlled by the God of the Bible. Not the God you pray to in church that can't stop your uncle and your pastor from molesting everybody. Not that God. Not your Jesus. The real God in the Bible. Keep going.
Verse 7.
The Jesus of the church is a pedophile. We learning about the God for black people. The God that'll make black people wear their natural hair and not chop their noses up when they get money. That'll not make you butcher your skin. That'll not make you abort your babies to fit in your oppressive society just for them to kill you and throw you out your damn community. Keep going.
Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted.
God asked the question, if you do the right thing, why won't you be accepted? If you're doing what's right, why would you not be accepted? Because there is a people from the very beginning of the Bible that have never wanted to do the right thing.
That's right.
They've always wanted to take a man and turn him into a woman. They always wanted to take a woman and strip her from her husband. Take her ability to be a mother and sterilize her. Make her murder her babies to fit in their society. There's been a people who have always done this since the very beginning of Genesis. And your pastor never even told you. Keep going. Oh, it's going to get good today. Don't go nowhere. Go and sit down. Keep going.
And if thou dost not well,
if you don't do what's right, this is what God is saying from the beginning.
sin lieth at the door.
If you don't do what's right, sin is going to be at your door like your best friend. And there's a nation of people, there is a race of people on the planet that everything God said to do, they go against. God said sex is marriage. They told you that sex is not marriage. Marriage is a ring and a piece of paper. God said that murder is wrong, right? How many people know it's wrong to murder somebody? Who are the people on the planet that make video games about being a murderer, make movies about being a murderer, they popularize being a murderer? Who is Freddy Krueger? Who is Chucky? Who is Leatherface? Edward Scissorhands? None of them black. They're not Asians. They're not Arabs. They're not Africans. Who is the devil that the Bible speaks of? We're going to show you in the Bible. Keep going.
And unto thee shall be his desire.
Meaning sin's desire is going to be filled in a person. There's a nation of people on the earth that their sole purpose is to bring sin on the earth. They are to promote sin on the earth. Ask the Vietnamese about how their families were before America came and turned their neighborhoods into brothels. Ask them about the opium that they shipped into India and into China and turned their people into drug addicts, just like they did to black people with crack cocaine and heroin. There's a race of people on the earth that God has been trying to warn everybody about that you think is Jesus. You think they're God. You think they're Superman and Spider-Man and Batman and Snow White and Cinderella, and that's what's going to turn your daughter into Princess Frozen, a lesbian. There's a people that promote this evil on the earth. From the very beginning, God has been trying to warn us about this nation of people. Keep going, brother.
And thou shalt rule over him.
Meaning this man that refuses to do what is right, he's going to be the man and the ruler of sin. Nobody murders like this man murders. Nobody kills. You think you got a problem with the few teenagers in your neighborhood shooting up Portsmouth? shooting up Richmond, shooting up Tidewater. You think you got a problem in Richmond and Petersburg? This is a people that send bombs from the sky that you don't ever see, that blow up church and mosque, that blow up hospital and military base. There's a people on the earth that God called the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're going to show you in the scriptures. Very professional and terrorizing. Ask the Native Americans if you can find some. Ask the Mexicans if you can find some. Ask them. Keep going.
Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother.
Cain went back to talk to his brother. He was mad that the father did not accept him, so he went to talk to his brother. You know how if you got two kids, everybody got kids, and one kid get a spanking and they realize they done something wrong, and then they go back to the child that behaves well. He go to talk to the good son that obeyed the father, that's doing what daddy says. And what does he do? Does he apologize? Does he say, I'm gonna get like you? Does he say, help me to be a better son to my father? What does this man do?
And it came to pass, when they were in the field.
When they were where?
In the field.
Remember that field. When they were in the field, they were where?
In the field.
Dick Cheney hunting for quail in the woods. They were where?
In the field.
Covered in deer pits, hunting for a buck. They were where?
In the field.
There was some doctor that went over to Africa so that they can kill the giraffes and kill the rhino and kill the buffalo. Wipe them out like Buffalo Bill. What nation of people do this? Keep going.
That Cain rose up against Abel, his brother.
Roll up against who?
Abel, his brother.
The brother that did obey God. What did this man do?
Slew him.
He murdered him. He what?
And slew
He
him.
put a knee on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. He what?
And slew
He
him.
showed up and murdered Trayvon Martin. He what?
And slew
He
him.
killed Tamir Rice and Tatiana Jefferson. What?
And slew him.
Murdered Xavier Hill.
And slew him.
Murdered Volcom G.
And slew him.
Murdered Walter Scott.
And slew him.
Murdered the Native Americans.
And slew him.
Murdered Sitting Bull.
And slew him.
Murdered the Aztecs.
And slew him.
Murdered everybody on the planet.
That's
There's a nation of people that God said is the murderer on the earth. You've never been taught that. You better learn for your safety. Don't end up around these people and put your life in jeopardy because you think that this is Jesus Christ. Don't put your black or Hispanic sons and daughters in jeopardy thinking that they gonna marry Barbie and Snow White and not get Emily Rose too. Don't do it to yourself. God is warning you. The prophets are out here in Norfolk. Keep going.
Verse 9. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
He said, where is your brother? Now God already knew. Where is your brother? Keep going.
And he said, I know not.
He said, I don't know. I don't know where he is. Just like a devil. When you ask them what happened to the Native Americans that were all through Virginia, you know what they say? That was in the past. I didn't do it. My fathers did it. That's not me. That's in the past. But how did you get the land? After your fathers murdered everybody, that's how you got the land. Native Americans didn't invite you here. The Mexicans didn't invite you here. You stole us. Keep going.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Is it my fault? Am I supposed to watch them? Am I supposed to keep my brother? It's not my responsibility. They did what you see every sheriff's department and deputy and lawyer do. Every time one of these devils murders a black, Hispanic, or Native American, they justify. The shooting was justified. It was a justifiable homicide. I was in fear for my life. How? He was running away. You shot him in the back. I was in fear for my life. How? He had his hands up. You shot him in the chest. I was in fear for my life. There's a people God talked about in the Bible.
That's right.
You didn't know you were the devil that the Bible speaks of, did you? You never been taught your whole life. You thought you were nigh unto God, nigh unto Jesus, nigh unto the Virgin Mary. Well, Mary was a Haitian woman. You're nothing like Mary. Jesus was a black man from the projects of Nazareth. You are nothing like Jesus. We're going to teach about it in the Bible today. Keep going.
Verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done?
What the hell have you done in your anger? What did you do? Why did you murder Emmett Till? Why did you burn Rosewood to the ground? Why did you burn Black Wall Street to the ground? Why did you flood crack and heroin in the black, Hispanic, and Native American community? They welcomed you. They fed you, and you murdered them on that Thanksgiving celebration. Why did you do it? This is what God is asking. Keep going.
What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
And that's something that our oppressor never realizes. Do you know all the murders that you have committed cries to God for justice? Just because you go in the courtroom and the judge give Amber Geiger a hug after she murders both of Gene, that doesn't mean you don't have to pay for that blood. The blood of 77 million Native Americans is on you and your children's hands. The blood of 99 million slaves you murdered in the transatlantic slave trade and counting is on the head and the hands of you and your children. There's no escaping that. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth.
God did what?
Cursed from the earth.
God cursed this man from the earth. What does it mean that God cursed him from the earth? You understand? He said you cursed from the earth. Now take me to 14.
God, sir. Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day.
Salaki, give me 13.
Salaki. Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
See, that's the thing. Whenever they get caught up in the crimes that they commit, they don't care about the people that they murdered. They don't care about watching black babies, watching you murder their father, murder their son on camera. All they care about is the punishment is too severe. I know that we went and murdered this little black boy, but the punishment is too severe. We shouldn't have to pay because we are a nation of murderers that kill and steal and rob everywhere we go. We shouldn't have to pay. The punishment is too severe. But the punishment is never too severe if you're black. The punishment is never too severe if you're Puerto Rican, if you're Mexican, if you're Jamaican, if you're Native American. There's no punishment too severe. Ask George Stinney, was the punishment too severe when you sent a 14-year-old to the electrocution chamber after he allegedly murdered 2 people in some town he's never been to before? The punishment wasn't too severe for him. Wasn't too severe for Emmett Till, was it? God is going to bring justice. And this nation, God is going to wipe it out. Finally, in the earth, there will be justice. The murderer and the criminal will not be free to set up cities everywhere, to murder presidents and steal everything, to steal all the resources and the land, and then kick you out of your own communities like they do in Norfolk, and Baltimore, and Philly, and D.C., to raise your rent, and then flood your community with drugs after they wipe your businesses out with their CIA and their FBI. There will be justice in the earth, and it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. Keep going.
Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth.
Why does it say that God driven this people from the face of the earth? Because on the planet, there is no people. Every race of people, God gave them land. But there is one nation of people, God gave them no land. And he gave them rocks and caves. Do you know what the word Caucasian means? The word Caucasian means cave dwellers. Because God driven Cain from out the face of the land. Because you're the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because you're the murderer. That's why. Belong in the caves of the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. The Lord had to driven these people out from the face of the earth to make sure that the murder would stop. If you let them free, they'll murder everywhere. Ask the Vietnamese. Ask the Vietnamese. Ask the Koreans. Ask the Afghans. Ask the Iraqis. Ask Libya. Ask the Africans what King Leopold did to them. Ask them what the Germans did to North Africa. Ask them about Napoleon Bonaparte, or Adolf Hitler, or Joseph Stalin, or Andrew Jackson, or George Washington, or Queen Elizabeth, or Bloody Mary. Ask them. They'll tell you. Ask the buffalo and the rhino who the devil that the Bible speaks of. Ask Blackfish sitting in SeaWorld right now instead of swimming around the ocean who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Lions belong in Africa. Why can you go to the zoo and see lions? Because someone kidnapped that lion from Africa and forced him to live in the zoo. Someone kidnapped that elephant from Africa and forced him to work in the zoo. Who did that? The devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Keep going.
And I shall from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid.
From God's face. God's face is not shining on our oppressor. God gave him a tool. God gave him an ability, because unlike every other people on the planet, the Lord does not deal with these people. The Lord is against this nation of people. We're going to show you in the Bible.
And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond.
A what?
A fugitive and a vagabond.
A fugitive, because everywhere you go, you know they are looking for the murderer. Right. They're looking to get revenge on how you destroyed their people and wiped out their economy and starved everyone to death. Everywhere. That's why you got to send your Navy all over the world, and your Air Force, and your Marines, and your Army. If you stop killing everybody, they would bring you to justice. Right. Vladimir Putin could not help but be a murderer, because that's who God said he was from the beginning. Right. Andrew Jackson could not help but be a murderer. You got a questions? We'll answer your questions, man. Could not help but be a murderer, man. Couldn't help it. It's in his blood. It is in his spirit.
That's what's wrong with you devils. You think you expect black people and Latinos to always be happy with you, with all the crimes that you've committed. You think black and Latinos are supposed to be all lovey-dovey with you. When we see the criminals that you are, when we see the crimes that you've committed, man, don't expect this right here. When you walk by here, you're either going to do one of two things. You're either going to keep walking or you're going to kiss our boots. That's what you're going to do. For the crimes you've done, that's the least. That's the least that you should be doing. Keep
right.
Colonel McCall, get that Captain Powerful hand. Keep reading now.
A fugitive and a vagabond shall I be. In the earth.
In the earth. Mean throughout the entire planet Earth, everywhere, these people, this man would be a fugitive according to God. There's no place on the planet Earth where you can see this oppressor and he has not murdered to be there. Europe does not belong to so-called Caucasians. They murdered the native Europeans when they fled the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. And they ran all the way to the Polynesian Islands and down to Australia. America does not belong to the oppressor. America belongs to the North American Indians, who they murdered and put on reservations. Texas and California belong to the Mexicans, whose children they kidnapped and put in INS detention centers and dog cages. Everywhere on the earth, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. If you go out in outer space, you'll see all the trash that they polluted outer space with. If you go in the ocean, you'll see all the poison that they dumped and ruined the coral reef in the ocean. You understand? Go into the forest and the rainforest and see all the destruction that they have caused. All of the species they've extinct. All of the empires they've wiped out. All of the diseases they've spread across the earth. This is who the Bible is talking about. Keep going.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that finds me shall slay me.
And that's what the Lord said. He said, everyone that finds me, they're going to know that I'm the murderer. So what did God do so that you can find the murderer on the earth?
Keep going, verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
God said, whoever slays this man, vengeance will be taken on him sevenfold. The Iraqis thought that they could go and they could kill American contractors, and just like they deal with everyone else, but they didn't know that God set a mark on these people. They didn't know God put a mark on Cain, that whosoever killeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken sevenfold. The 9/11 hijackers did not know that their people would pay for 20 plus years for killing 3,000 of these people. They didn't know that. But if you read the Bible, God told you in the book of Genesis. Keep going.
And the Lord shall set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Verse 16. And Cain. Verse 16.
Hold on, read that part again.
Oh God. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain.
The Lord set a mark upon Cain. God gave him the complexion for the protection. All the people on the planet Earth have melanin, but there is one nation of people where the whole nation, God removed all the color out of your skin.
That's right.
God removed all of the life and the humanity from the murderers that the Bible speaks of. God put a mark upon Cain so that everyone will know that if you touch Becky or Karen or Heather or Susie, that everybody in your neighborhood would pay. That if you harm one of these people, all of your people would suffer forever. The the Haitians and the Jamaicans are still paying reparations to England, Spain, America, and places that didn't even have them in slavery because they got free and it harmed the oppressor. To this day, they still paying. That's why Haiti is so poor, and Jamaica. And all of the West Indian islands, they got free. You're going to learn who the devil that the Bible speaks of. Don't get high today. Just hang out for a little while. We're going to teach you very valuable lessons. Unless you want your son to grow up and put on a dress and die of AIDS. Or you want your daughter to abort your grandbabies and bleed out on the operating table. Or you want to take a Percocet and end up overdosing off of fentanyl like everybody else is. Sit down for a moment. You'll learn a lot. We ain't going to hurt nobody. We just teaching the Bible. We love Jesus up here. We love God. We love the Bible. We're not a hate group, we're a love group. We teaching love. We teaching how to give black people self-esteem to get them off of drugs, which is what we need. We giving counseling. So brothers and sisters whose families have been destroyed by the devil that the Bible speaks of, don't go home and commit suicide. We out here teaching so that the brothers and sisters that's in our oppressor's child molesting religion that been abused by their uncle and their mama's boyfriends don't go home and kill themselves or smoke themselves to death like DMX or Michael K. Williams or Whitney Houston or Michael Jackson or Prince. You understand? We teaching love. We love our people. You might not realize your son is suicidal. You better get up here and listen, or you get a letter and find a body in a closet. You might not realize your daughter. We're not Christians up here. We prophets of the Lord. I know what I'm talking about. The Lord sent us out here. You understand?
ISUPK 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK down in Florida. I'm Captain of 10,000 Shamoy Yalo. We here to let you know the 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, the palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022 is going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just